Now let's continue our Ask Me Anything with Lady C, and brilliant questions. This one from Sarah Kretzinger 5298, who asks Lady C, will King Charles finally put his foot down now that Meghan is using her title to sell merch or even get commission on ShopMy?
First of all, I think, Dan, people don't understand that there's a distinction between a title and royal rank. Meghan is not allowed to use Royal Highness. That's the royal aspect of it. Although the Dukedom of Sussex is a royal dukedom, it is still just a title. Her name is Meghan, and she is the Duchess of Sussex. So she actually is technically allowed to use that in much the same way that Sarah York was using Duchess of York as well. So that causes a bit of confusion with people who think because the dukedom is a royal dukedom that you're not allowed to use it. She's allowed to use it. What she's not allowed to use is the princely coronet above on the note paper. That she's not allowed to use. But she uses it. Will the king do anything? He has bigger fish to fry, and he's got his health to consider, and he has no great will to do anything. He practices 12-step, what's it called? Loving detachment, which is you don't actively intervene, and you draw a line, and he's not in touch with Meghan at all, and he doesn't respond to any approaches from Meghan, but he's not going to poke the bear, so to speak. Some people think he should. I think he should do more than he's doing, and I think there are simple things that he could do and should do that he's not doing, but he's entitled to his opinion. I'm entitled to mine, and your questioner is entitled to hers. But I really doubt very much he's going to be doing anything to reel her in from the breaches of the Sandringham Agreement. At least not yet.
All right, folks, buckle up because this one is huge. If you thought the royal family was still keeping a door open for Prince Harry, think again. Lady Colin Campbell, one of the most outspoken royal insiders, just dropped a bombshell. There's allegedly a secret plan to completely exclude Prince Harry and Meghan Markle from any future succession discussions. And guess what? It's not just talk. This could already be in motion. Think about it. Since stepping down in 2020, Harry has been on a destructive path, throwing lawsuits left and right, making bombshell accusations in interviews and alienating his own family. But what's really telling? King Charles is not intervening anymore.
Not yet, no. From Kirsty D 1856, she says, love Lady C. I would like to know if she knows or believes if the Markle family have more knowledge about Meghan's past but have been gagged.
Well, Dan, you know as well as I do that they haven't been gagged, and they're not gagged, but that Meghan's father is a loving and a loyal father to all his children. And even though he has been treated appallingly by his daughter, he's not sinking to her level, and he's not betraying any confidences or any. He's not ever going to, in enmity, do what he gained under love. Let's put it that way. I think, don't you think that's a fair way of putting it?
Yes, I do. And look, at the end of the day, the Markles are still respectful. And certainly, for example, when it comes to Doria, I think they have always tried to be as fair and as tactful as possible. Do you think that's a fair way of putting it? Yeah. Indeed.
Which is very commendable of them.
Yeah, of course, because in fairness, it isn't Doria who has dragged them through the mud.
That's right. And Doria really is entitled to some privacy and protection, irrespective of the errors she has made.
Torch 0362 says, Dan, can you please ask Lady C about this? Since Henry and Ghost children live in the US and not in the UK, God forbid if it were to happen where Henry would be regent, it is my understanding that Henry and his ghost children could not reign since they do not live in the UK. Even though he is fifth in line to the throne, would he be allowed to take the throne? Basically, don't the people in the line of succession need to live in the country, Lady C?
There's a difference between residency and domicile. Harry is resident in the United States. Up to now, he has been domiciled in Britain. The Regency Acts refer to domicile, not residency. That's the first distinction. But as things stand, if something should happen to William and Harry and George were the monarch underage, there would be a Regency Council, and there is little or no doubt that Harry would have no part to play in it. Catherine would have a part to play in it, presuming that she were alive. But Harry would have absolutely no part to play in it whatsoever. The way things are structured at the moment, they would make absolutely sure that Harry was kept well away. And the fact that he was not in the United Kingdom would also mean that it would be impossible for him to enjoy the position of regent, even if there was the desire for him to be regent. And there's no desire for him to be regent. And if he and Meghan thought that they were going to move back to this country and she was going to flaunt her frowsy self around, well, I'm the Princess Regent, and you're just going to have to do what I say. Just remember, Sophie, you got to know your place. You're just a little Zimbabwean.
Makes me shudder.
And no, move. I mean, that's not playing well in South Africa. It's not playing well in Zimbabwe, and it certainly isn't going to play well at Buckhouse. So I think that's the answer, don't you?
Oh, I do.
According to Lady C, he's practicing loving detachment, meaning he's essentially cutting off Harry emotionally without causing more public drama. And let's be honest, it looks like the king is done. So, is this the ultimate silent punishment? Is Charles letting Harry and Meghan self-destruct without lifting a finger? Let's dive deeper. This next part is going to make your blood boil. Meghan Markle is still using her Duchess title to promote brands and allegedly earn commissions from endorsements. And here's the kicker. She's technically allowed to do it. Now this is where things get really messy. Meghan may have lost her Royal Highness status, but she still gets to call herself the Duchess of Sussex. And guess what? She's using that name recognition for business deals, whether that's through PR partnerships, sponsorships, or Shop My Style links. But here's the real question. Why isn't King Charles stopping her? Lady C suggests that Charles doesn't want to engage. He's already facing health challenges and bigger responsibilities, and frankly, he might believe that if he ignores Meghan's antics long enough, the public will turn against her naturally. But is that a smart move? Or is he letting her run wild with the royal brand?
An important one from Jolie Harney, who asks if you are any closer. She says, is Lady C any closer to finding out who tried to set her up to look like she was scamming money for herself when she so kindly raised money for Mr. Markle? I certainly know who I think was behind it, and her name starts with an M. Just saying. So, Lady C, this is the whole GoFundMe situation. Do you have any update that you can share?
No, I don't, Dan. My lawyers and I have tried to get GoFundMe to provide us with the identity of the person who did it. They know who did it. They have been stymieing us. They have been stalling us. They have been refusing to provide the information. And I, I think, I mean, there are two British members of GoFundMe who have connections to Harry and Meghan. Now, if people wish to regard that as suspicious, that's up to them. The fact of the matter is, there is the way the whole thing happened, and Martin Robinson being alerted to the creation of the fraudulent account and its operation.
And he's from the Daily Mail, right?
Sorry, yeah, the chief reporter of the Daily Mail. And at a time that I didn't know about it. I mean, how I found out about it was through Martin Robinson getting in touch with my agent. And so all of this is highly suspicious, but these big corporations are very practiced at stonewalling people. And let's see what the outcome will be. But there are definitely two British employees, both of whom have links to Harry and Meghan. And since there was no way that it was going to benefit me, that the GoFundMe would create a fraudulent account using my name, it obviously had to benefit someone else. And I can't think who else it would have benefited but Harry and Meghan. Because remember, it was for her father. I did something for her father that she couldn't be bothered to do for him.
Indeed. Well, look, I've got to end our AMA with a question from Kiwi Bird, the country of my birth. So let's do Kiwi Bird, who says, "Hi, Lady C. Love your messages. I'm from New Zealand and would be horrified if Harry, Meghan, or their children became senior royals again. Does the king not realise how upsetting this situation is for the people like myself in the Commonwealth? I feel like he just does not care."
Let me know in the comments. Should the king step in, or is he playing a long game? Now here's where things get really interesting. According to some insiders, the royal family may know more about Meghan Markle's past than we think, but they're choosing to stay silent. Why? Because Meghan's father, Thomas Markle, is still keeping family secrets under wraps, despite being completely shut out by his daughter. Think about it. Meghan's relationship with her own family has been practically erased. She cut off her father, her half-siblings, and even some old friends. But here's the thing, her father still won't sell her out. Despite everything, he's not revealing any shocking details about Meghan's past, even though he might have them. Why? Could it be out of loyalty? Or does he know that the truth would be too damaging for the royal family as well? Either way, this just raises more questions about what's really going on behind the scenes. This is the million-dollar question. Are Harry and Meghan's days numbered in both the royal and Hollywood circles? Think about it. Netflix is reportedly frustrated with them, their Spotify deal was cancelled, and even some of their closest celebrity friends like the Beckhams have distanced themselves. We're seeing a pattern here. The royal family is cutting them off, Hollywood is losing interest, and even their closest allies are backing away. This all points to one thing: they're becoming irrelevant.
I think he does care, in fairness to him. I think he does care. I think William does care. I think there is genuine concern at palace level and within the royal family. But it's not an easy situation, and there are no easy answers. I think that they need to edge Meghan and Harry further out. They need to remove them entirely from the royal website, and they need to at some point address the line of succession issue, but that's very contentious. What's not going to be quite as contentious is simply removing them from the royal website altogether. I would like to see them removed and Andrew remain. That would certainly give a message. And since Andrew has never been disloyal to the family, I think that would give a really strong message, which is disloyalty is its own reward. And it would also give a message to people like that lady in New Zealand that the family does care, but they do care. But as you know, Dan, the whole situation is so complex. It's just not that easily remedied.
Lady Colin Campbell, what a pleasure it has been. Our first ever Ask Me Anything with you on Outspoken. But of course, if you are a subscriber to Lady Colin Campbell's channel like I am, she does this very often. She answers her viewers' questions very, very often. And I really do recommend you subscribe. Lady C, so great to have you for our AMA today.
The more they push their us against the world narrative, the more people stop believing it. And here's the brutal truth. If Harry and Meghan lose both their royal and Hollywood connections, what's left? Will they fade into obscurity? Or will they make one final desperate move to stay in the spotlight? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear what you think. At the end of the day, we're watching history unfold. Prince Harry is losing his place in the monarchy, Meghan is still trying to cash in, and King Charles is just sitting back, waiting for them to burn out on their own. But will they go quietly? Or will they fight back with another explosive move? Only time will tell. Alright folks, that's it for today's reaction. If you enjoyed this deep dive, hit that like button, subscribe for more real talk, and tell me, do you think Harry and Meghan will ever be let back in? Or is this truly the end of their royal saga? Let me know below.